welcome to Red Sports. I'm Gargi Raut, and I'm joined by Abhijit Deshmukh and S. Kanan, and soon Boria Mujumdar will also join us. Well, after everything that happened yesterday, Vinesh Phogat has now announced her retirement, along with one other controversy that's cropped up, which is Antim Panghal and her team being deported back to India. And of course, at the end of the day, we also have Neeraj Chopra in action today. So lots to talk about. Kanan, let's start with you. We had that painful tweet from Vinesh yesterday about her announcing retirement, saying that she's lost, her courage is broken. What do what are you thinking right now about it?
Well, look, the first thing is it hits you, because when you're sleeping at around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock Paris time, you're going through all the emotions which have played out, what all she did to lose her weight, come there, tipping the scale by 100 gram. And, when you see that she lost it, the gold medal or even the silver medal went out of her hand, her neck. It was a medal for Vinesh, it was a medal for India. She was heartbroken. She had done everything possible, sauna, steam, cutting her hair, not eating food. And in the end, she had brought herself to such a state where she needed an IV drip infusion for her to get back the hydration in her body. So a lot of things must have wrecked her, tormented her, and she would have decided, three attempts, 2016, 2021 Tokyo, 2024, each time this was the closest to a medal. This is fate, and it should not happen to anyone. Forget a champion athlete, nobody, it's like, you're getting robbed. So it is sad, but then these are the rules. You can do nothing about it, whether you protested or not. So she decided to quit, and I think when you quit on a moment like this, it is not impulsive. She's thought about it. The amount of pain she's been through, when I mean pain, not physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, she has been at the forefront of leading a protest on behalf of the women wrestlers. She hit the streets in the heat of Delhi. I mean, I've been there, stood there, watched. And then she came back, trained, did everything possible. She's undergone multiple surgeries. Nobody pushes the body through so much of pain. And in the end, if she has retired, she's retired on a high. She's already a champion. Okay, the medal is missing. She's a champion. We have so many champions. Milka Singh is a champion. PT Usha is a champion. Gurbachan Randhawa is a champion. They didn't win Olympic medals, but they're all champions. So this is one more champion. 100 grams going overweight. It's not cheating. It is just ill luck, fate. And if she retired, I think it was a very, very good timing because nobody is going to say anything. The saddest part for me was it acquainted political colors at House of Parliament, outside, BJP versus Congress versus other parties jumping in. No, this is sport. Sport, you don't know what is happening. You are alleging conspiracy. What conspiracy? When you don't know, don't do this. Let her be there, let her spend. Why are you dragging her into all this? So that is the best part. It for it to acquire political colors, I think the controversy will go. When she lands in India, she will be celebrated. She will get the same reception as Manu Bakar got. Take it from me, she deserves it.
Boria has also joined us. This this news came to us late in the night, from Vinesh's handle. Her saying, I think the most heartbreaking part about that was that she wrote, my courage has lost. I have lost from the sport. Ma, आपकी आपके सपने और मेरी हिम्मत टूट चुकी है. I think that was one of the most heartbreaking things to hear from someone like Vinesh, someone who has blazed a trail for everyone, who has, spent so much time working hard on the streets of Delhi to, protest the security of her fellow wrestlers as well. But after this moment, how are you feeling, Boria?
See, the news came at about 2:30. I got a call about 2:40, and I wrote the piece between 2:40 and 4:15. So if you see, if you see my tweet, I tweeted around 3:15 in the morning Paris time, and then the piece was published around 4 a.m. or 4:30, something like that, because I was writing for an hour For the first 30, 35 minutes, I couldn't write. I just couldn't write. I was staring at my phone. I was reading that tweet repeatedly. Obviously, I had tweeted, but I couldn't write my piece. It was one of those moments. I'm sure Kannan will agree with me. I mean, we are all human beings at the end of the day, and yes, we are journalists and we are supposed to be objective and all that, but we are also human beings. I was reading that tweet, and there was a lump. There was a lump in my throat, kind of thing. I mean, what does one say? And in my case, I have watched Abhinav's gold. I've watched Neeraj's gold. I've watched her 6 minutes against Guzman Lopez, and they rank the same. And I've written that for me, Abhinav Bindra's gold medal in Beijing, for me, Neeraj Chopra's gold medal in Tokyo, and Vinesh Phogat's 6 minutes against Guzman Lopez in Paris will rank the same. For me, she will be the champion that she is. Yes, as Abhinav and I were chatting yesterday, and I'm putting this on record, this is not me, this is actually his statement, that you need not be a champion always with a medal. You can be one without one. And Vinesh Phogat is on that podium for us in India. Yes, she's not wearing that medal. And I wrote that. I will remember Vinesh Phogat for those 6 minutes. I will remember Vinesh Phogat for that smile that she gave me when she was walking past the mix zone, and she said and shook my hand, beaming and saying, Sir, kal baat karte hain, wait dena hai. I will remember for all of that. There are many questions, Gargi, which we need to clarify and answer today. A lot of people, after my piece got published, have asked questions. Cass decision, uh, this 52.5, 52.7 kind of weight, when did that happen? Was she overweight during the semi-final bout? There are many questions which have been asked by the audience, which I think we need to clarify as journalists. So I would urge you to sort of go to each one. I mean, to Kannan, to Abhijit, to me, one by one. uh, who filed the appeal? First question. When was the appeal filed? Is there an interim order that can be expected, or the appeal will be, they will set up a hearings committee in a day or two? What is the exact process? uh, this weight, the way the whole process of the weight happened, how did this whole thing happen? I think all of these questions need to be answered. So I suggest you go to Kannan, Abhijit, and me, and take as many questions as you possibly can.
Okay, the first thing I will go back to is the qualification in Bishkek when Vinesh was attempting the next to impossible thing from 57 kg. She had put on about over 9-10 kilos. She had undergone a surgery. Again, same Dr. Dinsha Pardiwala. She came back, and we had done a story in the sports back in April that how difficult it is for her to lose weight. When you lose weight, you start becoming weak. You have a muscle loss. So, but she managed it. She made the cut in 50 kg there also. Whole night she was in steam sauna. But steam sauna does not necessarily make you lose weight. Weight loss is different. There's no fat. You should look at her body frame. There's no fat. If you go and sit in a sauna or a steam bath, you can burn some amount. No. When she weighed in first day before morning, she was in the range. She had 3 bouts. Obviously, between those bouts, she is ingesting some amount of calories. Because I spoke to certain dietitian nutritionists, no names I can mention. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's supposed to be confidential. But these are people who know enough about sports science, nutrition, how that weight went up. There are only one doubt being created whether after each bout of hers, the first against Susaki, fantastic win. What was her weight then? What was she given to eat or drink? Did that time the weight go up? After the second bout, again, did she have more? And third, the last one after the semi final when she weighed up, how to burn it. She cut her hair, she did everything. She did everything possible. The entire team around her did everything possible, brought it down. You to lose in one night, one day, 2.5 kgs is impossible. A hockey player, a midfielder, or a forward loses 4.5 kgs per match because that is the amount of running they're doing. A Formula One driver loses about 6 to 7 kgs. A hockey player has to come back or in 2 days be ready. What all they do, rehydration, salt, what is the deficiency? It's not the same whether it is A, B, C supplement nutrition, what is given. In her case, why was she given an IV drip? That is the level she had pushed to, of starvation, of almost dying of thirst, to keep her weight down. I read some stupid tweet, sorry, I'm bringing it here, that she removed her blood and to cut her weight. Come on here. Can you remove blood? Will any doctor remove blood to reduce your weight? No. Don't believe all that. She tried everything which was legitimate to lose her weight, bring it down. The process of weighing is open. It's not inside a closed room. They cut on her cloth size, how much, even that there could be a weight reduction, but just 100 grams. There's no relaxation. As regards the appeal may take time. CAS is not going to respond overnight today. What happens will be heard. But then we heard from UWW, the boss of UWW himself, that his heart goes out to Vinesh Phogat, but this is the rule. You can't do anything about it. Boxing, weightlifting, wrestling. These are sport where even 1 kilo advantage or half kilo advantage is perceived as a bonus to the athlete. That is the level of intensity of the fight. So how can you allow it? This is what happened. It is most unfortunate. It is unheard of in all my life of whatever I have watched sport, 37, 38 years. I've never heard of this. You've heard of someone cheating, some kind of foul. There was no cheating here. She tried her bit and she accepted it. There was no second chance. She couldn't have been told, can I come back in half an hour, lose weight, can I jog, run? She did everything. After that bout against the Cuban, when I saw image of her going and skipping, I was surprised. I thought normally there should be a cool down process, stretching. No, but she was still trying to burn. So she knew that her weight was already up. She didn't talk about it. When she went in yesterday morning, she must have dreamt in her heart, no, my weight has come down. How much can you bring it down? Can you keep on going? How much can you train? Can you go on running on the treadmill? What can you do? Can you do cycling? Everything she attempted. If you think everything will come out in public domain, it will not come out and it should not come out. If you
Kannan,
want
it is
to know,
out. It is out. We gave all the sequence. What you've just said, everything is out in the public domain.
yeah,
In fact, when let's give the details. So Kannan, what he just explained, when Vinesh gave the weight on day one, she was 49.9 kilos. Okay, that is what Vinesh's weight was on day one, 49.9 kilos. Then she had her recovery meal, which is normal procedure for any wrestler, because you are to fight X number of bouts, in this case three. So you need food, you need nutrition. Generally, the food and nutrition is composed of fluids, because you have been dehydrated. You generally don't drink water for the last 24 hours leading to the weigh. So she hydrated herself, and I have spoken to her team. I have spoken to the Indian team. Here, I have spoken to everybody. Everybody. Let's not take names, but everybody who is concerned, people who know will know. And I've spoken at length. Then she got that new. I mean, she during the course of the day, fluids and little bit of food. When the Susaki fight happened, when the second fight happened, and the third fight happened, every time she took a little bit of hydration. After the third fight, when we were waiting in the mixed zone, Vinesh came running, and she was obviously beaming with happiness. She saw me there. There were three, four Indian journalists, and the wrestling mixed zone is slightly far from the venue. It's slightly far. You have to walk about 400 meters to get to the mixed zone. So Vinesh came running there. By the time the Indian journalist had reached there, she had passed, because I had gone there kind of running after the bout in excitement, maybe, but I was there early. So she saw me, and because she knows me well, she came up. She said, "Kal baat karte hain, sir. Kal baat karte hain. Wait dena hai." So in her mind, she had this idea clearly that she had to go check her weight and see. That is when her weight was 52.7 kilos. What does that mean? That during the course of the day, with the recovery meal and the fluids, the body weight had kicked back to 52.7 kilos. That's when what Kannan just said, everything started. Sweatsuit, cycling, sauna, jogging, skipping, cutting her hair at 4 a.m. in the morning. 4 a.m. They had almost given up. That's when the cutting of the hair kind of desperation happened, because Vinesh was desperate, was absolutely desperate. So she said she wanted to try everything. That's when they finally, after a point, realized that no sweat was coming out, which is dangerous territory. That this person cannot be all water had come out. She needs to be hydrated now. About 6:30 in the morning, they thought that they had managed it. They had managed it and they had brought it under control. When she went for the weighing in, there was a chance that she had brought it under control. That's when this happened. 100 grams more. You can give your weight as many number of times in the 15-minute window. 7:15 to 7:30. You can keep getting on, keep getting on. If it's one time done, it's done. You can keep trying. You can keep checking. But once 7:30 is over, it's done. You will not get one extra minute. Jordan Burroughs, one of the greatest wrestlers, has come out and said, this is unfair. You add a kilo on day two. You add a kilo to the two wrestlers who made the final because that's only natural. No one's getting unfair advantage, etc. etc. Will Vinesh's case prompt a change in rule? We will have to wait and see. Will Vinesh's case completely change the existing rule of wrestling? Already, people who are multiple gold medalists at Olympic Games, Jordan Burroughs is the best example I can give you, has started raising these questions. What Lalovich said yesterday, and this is critical, is this is a sport that is managed by weight loss and weight gain. It's a sport about weight control. And he said to everyone, he said to Abhinav, he said to Parth, he said to the Indian team, that why did your sports science team, your nutrition team not manage it better? What happened there? By the way, we are not blaming anyone. We are reporting facts. This is what the UWW president had said. Now, Dinshaw Padiwala and the medical team on record said that they had expected Vinesh's weight to go back by 1.5 kilos, which is, instead of 52.7, they thought it will go up to 51.5 by the end of the third bout. When they saw it was 52.7, that's when they were a little alarmed. Not little alarmed, seriously alarmed. Now you can ask this question, that did the nutritionist team, the sports science team, the medical team, the coach, did they get it wrong? You can ask the question. There is no conspiracy here. Is it a case where they could have done better? When you add by the way, there are two separate teams, Vinesh Phogat and Antim Panghal, two separate teams. When you add the Antim Panghal story to this, that she also just made the weight cut, she had almost missed it. And because of this, she had starved for 48 hours and she had drank no water. She had no energy left. That is when you ask yourself the question, that boss, is there incompetence here? And by the way, Dr. Padiwala is an orthopedic surgeon. This is not his area of specialization. So anybody blaming Dr. Padiwala is wrong. But what about the coach, the sports scientist, and the nutritionist? And here I think something very difficult is, I don't think they had tried it. Kanad, from what I know, this 2 day weigh-in, because it was introduced 1 year back and is being implemented at an Olympic Games for the first time, and because what you said about Bishek, it was 1 day, it was not 2 days in the qualifier. They had tried it for the first time here, and that alarmed me. That why did they not try it maybe even once earlier? So this body weight kicking in, that it kicked into 2.7 when they had thought 1.5, That is what is worrying for me. That did we make a mistake there? I leave it at that. I can answer everything because this is one story I've tracked like a hawk from yesterday. Any question you all have or the audience has, I'm willing to answer. But some people, with due respect, are saying, why are you comparing, Vinesh? Look, Muhammad Ali was also stripped of his medal. Lose Long did not win a medal and lost to Jesse Owens, and Lose Long is part of Olympic history. Tommy Smith and John Carlos were stripped of medals because of political reasons, and after 40 years, their medal was given back. Can Vinesh's medal be returned when the law is changed, etc., and people then think, oh, it was unfair? Kannan and I will not be able to live to, perhaps tell that story in 40 years, but there is always that possibility. So these are part of Olympic lore. 1968 Mexico is part of Olympic lore. Will UWW 10 years later decide that yes, it was actually a fair fight? She deserved the silver medal because when she won those bouts, she had won them fair and square, and she deserved the medal. This is, none of us are able to say this. So, as Indians, I can say this much, that when she fought, she was fighting fair fights, absolute fair fights. So, in my opinion, I think Vinesh needs to be celebrated like anyone else.
Abhijit, your take at this point after
No,
everything that's gone.
I think our system need to be better. To be honest, it's a failure for us. 100 gram, we have to accept that she was overweight and uh, we have failed. I mean, there has to be a system where weight should have been monitored after every match, whatever she was taking it. Um, I mean, we should have been proactive in doing that. I think we should have some experts in there. In less time, how can you lose the weight? I mean, I'm not saying it's 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 not possible. I mean, you need to have those things. What there could be something where she's taking fluid, she's taking food, which will add less weight. And I'm saying again and again, this is not the end of Olympics yet. We still have athletes still competing in wrestling till 11. Still have more such international tournaments. This is just the beginning. And we lost a medal. Look, it was so close. This is probably a very stupid thing we have done. I'm sorry to say this, but silver medal was assured. What have we done? Everyone who was involved, I think this is a huge thing. We keep saying fourth is the worst position, but I think when you have a medal assured, what were we doing? I'm sorry, but maybe we could have done something. See, there's problem always, but we need solution. That is the most important thing. At this time, why SOS wasn't raised? I mean, if if let's say at 8 p.m. in the night, 10 p.m. in the night, or whatever, why SOS wasn't raised? You just can't wait till the last hour to get this thing done. I know it's very hard to reduce the weight in this time, but there are experts. There are experts in India. There are experts in the world. Raise an SOS. Take completely. And this, as I said, if you have to win medals at the Olympics from where we are, we have to think of worst of the worst situation. If we don't think that, I'm sorry, we're not going to win more medals. And then these are small things, but extremely important because this is just basic things. We all know, like, we have to weigh in before your bout day, then you have to do it. It's just not, we can't change the law. Had she been done, I mean, she was underweight, probably we would have a gold medal. I mean, but we have to work a lot on our system. We have to take the things from this Olympics, how we can improve. And it's just not about Olympics. And Vinesh, she's a two-time world champion. She has won two medals at the World Championship. She has won Asian Games gold medalist. She has won Commonwealth Games three times. She has won gold at the Commonwealth. So she's an as an legendary athlete in wrestling. Uh, if she has not won an Olympics medal, doesn't make her any less. She's a great athlete. But yeah, we have to work on our system. I'm sorry, but it's simply undigestible thing that an athlete who was in the finals. I was speaking to some other people from other countries as well, and they were laughing. So no words for
Final few questions to Kanan and Boria as well. You know, everything that has gone down, that has happened, will be a watershed moment in Indian sports. But going forward, what do you think will change? Because this is going to be one of those moments that will be talked about for a long, long time. Kanan?
Are you talking about just this Vinesh, or are you going to talk about so many fourth place finishes, or do you want me to talk about Mirabai Chanu?
All.
Okay. I think the sheer number of so many fourth place finishes is frustrating. At the same time, if you look at it, you look like you choked. You couldn't handle the pressure. All these phrases will be used. Yeah, but I will talk specifically about Mirabai Chanu. I was very disappointed. And when I'm saying I'm disappointed, Mirabai never herself promised a medal. Her coach promised a medal, Vijay Sharma. Sehdev Yadav called me even yesterday. He said, medal aa raha hai. He's going on saying medal aa raha hai. On what basis? North Koreans nahi hai. If you are saying North Koreans are not there, you are telling us that the Thailand weightlifter, was she useless? The effort which came from Mirabai was not commensurate to what was the expectation built up. There is one thing to compete in trials, in training, but when you are not being part of competitions, she collapsed on the platform at the Asian Games in Hangzhou. After that, she went in for a weigh-in, mandatory weigh-in in Doha somewhere in December, just to show that her weight is intact because she had not resumed full training there. And now we are talking about August. No competition. You cannot enter an Olympics without competition. You look at shooters, how many trials they shot. This is just OST, Olympic selection trials. But how many more trials, matches again and again? So this is a mistake made by the federation. I'm not going to say anything against Mirabai Chanu. She is an Olympic silver medalist from 2020, held in 21. But the future of weightlifting is in danger in India. There is no second line. There is no next athlete to replace Mirabai Chanu. You had two boys, I'm calling them boys, they're still young. You have finished them on the charges of indiscipline. Jeremy Lal Renunga, Achinta Shevli, who has finished them? If they misbehaved, if there was indiscipline, have you caned them or have you cuddled them? This is my question to Sehdev Yadav. I have nothing against him, but he made a phone call to me yesterday and said something very stupid. I'm going to say it on air today. He was hitting out at his own politics of IOA and saying, विनेश फोगाट को कोई गोली नहीं खिला सकते थे कि उसका वजन कम हो जाए. मैंने कहा कौन सा गोली? कहता है नहीं, you take that medicine. If you are constipated, you will have so many motions, you will lose weight. Is this what a president of a federation says? You want to put an athlete and shame her that she gets caught in doping. People fear to take even a paracetamol. And if this guy is running a federation and he comes here, shame. We don't want such presidents. He will be answerable. The coach will be answerable, not Mirabai. Mirabai's birthday today. I wish her happy birthday. I'm sorry you didn't win medal, but we are not holding against you. You tried whatever could be done. The way Dr. Dinshira Pardiwala handled her, the way Aaron Horschig, strength conditioning expert in the US, brought her back to shape, the fact that she was able to go to the platform, do the snatch, clean and jerk. Okay, she did not optimize. I spoke to Malleswari. Abhijit had interviewed Malleswari. I was constantly in touch because I knew she was coming. She said, I don't want publicity, but I was there. I met her yesterday also. I may not have been in the media box, but I was there because I just wanted to watch it from a different angle. She mentioned one point in Abhijit's interview, see it, that the process of the coach loading, the word used is loading, how much weight you increase, was that done properly or not? Vijay Sharma can answer that because Vijay Sharma has constantly said medal aa raha hai, 202 जा रहा है, ऊपर जा रहा है, नहीं आया है, 199 पे रुक गया, कैसे रुक गया बताओ आप? इसका जवाब they have to give, they have to answer it. It cannot be forgotten so easily because it has cost us a medal. If it was not coming, don't hype it. That's all I'm saying. I know I'm being emotional, but it hurts because the athlete is facing the flag. When she goes back to India, what happened after Rio? She went back. She didn't go home to Manipur. She went back and she was crying in the national camp in Patiala. I had spoken to her at that time. And then she wins a medal in Tokyo and she wants to again win a medal here in Paris. So these people who are creating that hype, they are the ones who need to be called out. They are the ones who should be answerable. Come on, tell us, why did you come out with lies and not truth? Why aren't you explaining the fact that she was not put through competitions? Was it fear or was it a case of her not being ready? This has to be answered. There is no conspiracy in it, but they have been caught lying.
Gargi, I just like to add here, I have a little different opinion. Let's accept the fact Mirabai didn't lift her first clean and jerk attempt of 111. And Mirabai has lifted 150 before. I think her best is 116, if I'm not wrong, in clean and jerk. So I think the first one of 111, she could have easily lifted. That added the pressure. We were there, Boryada was there, our whole team was there. I think that first attempt, Mirabai, if she would have lifted, she would have got a good chance. The second that she could have lifted 114, now she has lifted 100. She has not lifted 111 in the first attempt. She had to lift 111 in the second attempt, and now her third attempt was 114. Had she lifted 111 in the first one, I think she would have less pressure while going on the third attempt. She could have easily won the medal here, but I think it's equivalent that we say it was Mirabai and as well as the coach fault here, I would say, because they should have calculated done, and especially I was surprised to see 111 kg was not lifted in the first attempt. If she has done that, she had two more attempts then to lift 114 or whatever, then our medal was confirmed. So let's accept this fact as well.
I'll combine the two because actually both are making pretty important and sensible points. First, Kannan. The fact that Kannan just said about Sahdev Yadav, the fact that he said about Vijay Sharma, about the fact that both of them saying that Mira is in shape, medal aa raha hai, is 100% correct. I have spoken to Vijay Sharma at 4:30 yesterday when they were leaving the village to get to the competition, saying 5:30 बजे पहुंचेंगे, 5:30 बजे वेट देंगे, उसके बाद. In fact, I told my people 5:30 पहुंच जाओ because Mira will reach at 5:30. So we were there. Every single I had gone to Vijay. I mean, we were tracking the training also. I kept talking every day कि कितना उठा रही है, कितना लोड दे रहे हो आप. So in training, by the way, Vijay Sharma was sure that 202 में 201 में ब्रॉन्ज आएगा, 205 में सिल्वर. मैंने आपको कल बोला था गार्गी शो में, एग्जैक्ट यही बोला था आपको.
बिल्कुल.
So विजय शर्मा जानते थे 200 201 में ब्रॉन्ज आएगा, 205 में सिल्वर. एंड वो बार बार मेरे से कह रहे थे मीरा इज डूइंग इट इन ट्रेनिंग. वी आर 100% श्योर. सो दैट वाज देयर साइड. When she lifted 88 snatch, trust me, I was sure of a medal.
National record. National record.
That is her best. When she lifted 88 in snatch, Shormishta was sitting next to me and I said, done. Because that is the weak point of Mira. And Jordan De La Cruz did not lift more than 84. Sudarshana Kamboj lifted 88, which means Thailand and India were equal in snatch. That Mikhaila girl from Romania was ahead, and obviously China had to do what they did. By the way, Mira's highest in clean and jerk is 17, not 16. It is 117. So it has been done in the past multiple times. Now the question, when Mira was loading 111, I also thought, here Abhijit is right. I also thought that 111 clean and jerk should have been done, which Karnam said. I spoke to Karnam the moment she came in yesterday. She was sitting in P4. We were continuously talking that let's catch up after the event is over. That 111 was actually a regulation lift. The moment she got 111, she would have been in 199. And he had 2 attempts to get to 200. What happened with that failed lift? The Thailand girl lifted 112, Sudarshana Kamboj. That's when the pressure built on Mira. She got to 111, so she pushed it to 199. Now here's the story. Mira is on 199, Kamboj is on 200. By the way, that's where Karnam is right saying that Kamboj, when she lifted 200, she was done. That was her limit. That's when Vijayji could have done better. Had Vijayji been able to predict that the Thailand girl has done her limit, all Mira needs to do is load a kilo, get to 113 to 201 or 112 to 200, it's good enough. Vijayji loaded 114, which would have taken Mira to 202. Kamboj missed out on 114. So Kamboj stopped at 200. Sadly for India, Mira stopped at 199. Had that one first lift of 111 worked, or if Vijayji's calculation worked, like Kannan said, of not loading 114 but 112 or 13, and just touching Kamboj or getting a kilo more, it would have been fine. In fact, I kept telling Shormishta all of last night saying Vijayji should have just gone for 1 kilo more. He went for 2 kilos more. If Mira lifted 114, Mira was going for 202. If Kamboj lifted 114, Kamboj had the last lift. So it would be anyway gone. 114 for Kamboj would have meant 203, right? 202 also. We should have just tried to touch Kamboj or cross Kamboj. We tried to build a lead. 114 plus 88, we tried to build a lead. Kamboj just managed to cross 12 and stuck to 200. That's it. All all Vijayji should have done was get to 200 or get to 201. But here is the thing. He kept telling us that in practice, Mira was loading 202, 203. So was he confident enough? Was
I saw
Mira
that.
confident enough? And he has said this to Kanan, he has said this to me 100 times because we are very closely in touch with Sadev Yadav. Sadev I met yesterday also in the stadium. We are very closely in touch with Vijayji and this thing. So with that snatch of 88 to lose a medal after that is is one of the biggest heartbreaks of these games. After snatch 88, Mira Chanu not lifting 113, 112 in the clean and jerk and losing a medal. It is not digestible. You see my message in our group, and I've written, this is the most miserable thing. I just walked away. And I don't even know where I was walking. When she failed that, I just walked away because for me that the world had collapsed there. That this was a certain medal for India which just went out of our hands.
Yeah. Any final comments before I close the show?
Final
Kannan?
comment is we'll
Kannan
watch.
asked Kannan about hockey and Neeraj. I mean, yes, we can
I think
wait
I'm
till
very
the
hopeful about Neeraj. I think Neeraj is definitely in the best zone. He's trained, he's prepared, and he's competed to the level needed. He's not tried to overcompete. He came to India also and competed. It was mandatory. But one important meet in the build-up to Paris, people said he missed it because of his adductor. No, he's fit. I will go back to what he said day before. How he prepares for qualifying and how he prepares for the final are very different. It's like cheese and chalk. In terms of technique, in terms of the daylight to sunlight, receding floodlight, temperature difference, it will get cooler. He will be prepared. Hockey, only one word they use, Josh. There is plenty of Josh. Amit Rohidas is back. They will play their hearts out. They will do anything to win this medal. It is that same spirit we saw in Tokyo when you beat Germany. And today I'm going to go and watch this match. If they beat Spain, it will be a medal. And if you win a medal, it is important for hockey. It is important for men's hockey, women's hockey. There are many people. Probably Srijesh has said he's not going to play because he's still in top shape, top form, top skills, top technique, stopping. He's the most feared Great Wall of China, so to say, as far as goalkeeping is there. Manpreet has kept quiet. He's still performing. Harmanpreet, outstanding. One match, don't judge them that they lost. Look at all the matches. You look at Argentina. You beat Australia. You can say Australians came and joined late. They don't train like India. That's all. No excuse. So just beat Spain, win that medal. We desperately need these medals because Indian sport is very quick the fans to lash out. सात नहीं आया, 10 नहीं आया. Nobody is counting 6 fourth place finishes. A 6 fourth place finish is not a joke. It is very, very hard. Standards are so high. Even Mirabai, fourth place finish. I respect her. Today is her birthday. I repeat, it's her birthday. We will wish her. It was heartbreak for her also. But we have to win in hockey. We will win in hockey. I think the people are going to cheer in the stadium. People are going to cheer from India. And they have the best wishes. Sometimes best wishes and prayers work. And there were best wishes and prayers for Vinesh, in the heart of hearts. That's all I will say. We will wait for the afternoon and the evening. I'm sure we will get 2 medals today. I don't believe in negativity.
See, Gargi, one thing is by lashing out, we get nowhere.
Mm.
Eventually, your sport has to continue. All of us are disappointed that why did the double digit not happen? Sixth, fourth place finishes, multiple close finals. Sarabjot Singh losing out on countback 5-7-7. If you go back and analyze, has there, so you will get many that okay, this could have been, this could have been, this could have been, this could have been. But by lashing out, we get nowhere. Where will you get? You will eventually. Where is the problem? The problem is after Mira, who? Bindya. I don't see anyone. The point that Kannan made there is the biggest point because he follows the sport and knows the sport. Jeremy, you sent Jeremy back on grounds of indiscipline. Is Jeremy the same wrestler, sorry, same weightlifter that he was in CWG? Because we had built Jeremy. Jeremy was Sanket. Jeremy, Ochinto. Ochinto played the World Championship, was not even in the B zone. Ochinto after Commonwealth, where he lifted 313, where is Ochinto today? Tell me. So, where is the number two, the supply line? And this is something that I was saying that when I look at some sports, I look at weightlifting, I don't see anyone after Mira who can compete and get you a medal. 199 is good enough for an Asian Games medal. It is. Unless the North Koreans play. If the North Koreans play, then it becomes complicated in Asian Games. Then China, North Korea, Thailand, India. But if the North Koreans are not playing, then this is good enough for an Asian medal. But after Mira, who? Same question. In shooting, you have enormous talent. Ask Kanan. Tilottama Sen is 14. She didn't qualify. She's 14. Mehuli is 20. There is Ashichoksi. There are, I mean, you just name event by event, 10-meter rifle, 10-meter pistol, mix. You will have enormous talent there. So shooting is in good shape. What about badminton? It is a sport where we have seen a revolution in India. Tell me one singles player after PV Sindhu. One singles player. One. Anmol Kharab. Is she the future then? Will she be nurtured and groomed? Tell me one doubles team after Satvik and Chirag. One. Who is at this level or who you think can challenge people at this level. One doubles team. I can't see it. Tell me one singles player after, because Shrikant is past his prime. Pranoy is 31. Pranoy with his body can't survive 4 years. Can't survive. Pranoy is a medical miracle that he's got you a World Championship medal, Asian Games medal, Thomas Cup win is way exceeded expectations. Tell me one badminton singles player who can join Lakshya Sen, Priyanshu Rajawat, possibly. After Rajawat, who? I can't see anyone after Rajawat. Possibly Gopi will produce champions again. So we have to see. When I see these sports, like weightlifting, when I see a sport like Baddy, when I see a sport, and I'm like, boss, after these players, who? Who? Athletics, except Sable and Neeraj, everybody else has performed less than their personal best. Everybody. Jesuin Aldrin does a 761. His best is 820. Come on, boss. Come on. I mean, what are you doing? Parul Chaudhary has done her season's best. Other than that, everyone has been less than their personal best. I understand Murli Sri Shankar not coming here because of injury. That guy is a good guy. But when I see some of these sports, I get worried. By lashing out, we will get nowhere, because your and sport is something you have to invest in. It's off par. Are you going to invest in 2036 hosting with 6 medals or 7 medals? Will you host an Olympic Games, or will you spend this money now to get more athletes up to medal stage? Important questions stare at us. And these fans, a lot of these fans, I hope they will stick with Olympic sport. I hope they will keep asking these questions on our shows, difficult ones, easy ones, right through, because Kannan, Gargi, Boria, entire Rev Sports team of 42 people will keep at Olympic sports. So when Satwik and Chirag play the China Open, we will be there again. I hope the fans are there. I hope the fans do not move away to cricket tomorrow and then come back during Asian Games and come back during Olympic Games 4 years later. Because that is what happens in India with a sizable section of the fans. Ritika Huda, Priyanshu is continuously asking. Ritika Huda, I absolutely think has a chance. Today is Aman, very tough. Egorov is he's playing Egorov first. If he gets through Egorov, goes to the semi-finals, then yes. Other than Egorov, Anshu Malik has a very difficult draw against that US girl. I I I don't know where that is headed. Anshu Malik, it's one of the most difficult draws. Aman, because of the seeding, possibly if he plays wonderfully well, he can progress to the semis, and I do have some hope of Ritika Huda. So hockey, Ritika Huda, Neeraj, who am I to say we have hope? The whole world has hope. So, Neeraj, these are the three that still I think have real hope. So, we have to see what happens. And absolutely wish Mira a very happy birthday. She's extremely close to me. She deserved a medal. She was close to a medal. But that is the story. So near yet so far for India.
We have one super chat and a lot of other comments asking for updates on Antim Panghal as well.
Antim Panghal was a disaster because for 40, and by the way, this is incompetence. For 48 hours leading up to the bout, she was starving without food and water. She's 20 years old. She knows nothing of nutrition. It is the support team that was doing it, the coach and the support team, and every possible question has to be asked of this coach and the support team. What were you doing with Antim Panghal, who is an Asian Games medalist, a world champion medalist, and she had the best draw? If you actually asked me or asked anybody who follows sport, you would have been told that Antim Panghal had the best draw in Paris. She did not even last a minute and a half and was howling when she went past the mix zone. She was in tears, crying because she had no idea. She had no energy left. This was a botch up. I'm telling you on the show, this was a botch up on the part of the support team and the coaching staff. Ask the questions of the Wrestling Federation. What was going on with Antim Panghal? Why was her weight? By the way, Antim was also about to miss her weight. Antim was also about to miss her weight, and I'm telling you this on the show. Somehow managed it, but had no energy left. We completely, we destroyed. I mean, an athlete who is 20, 20, you can't destroy that athlete. So it's a case of incompetence on the part of the Indian management as far as Antim Panghal is concerned. There is no two ways. She should have been medaling. It was an easy draw. I mean, 1.5. And by the way, did you see that the wrestler who beat her in the next bout? She did not even stand a chance. She was some random person from somewhere who comes and loses the next bout and beats Antim, who is the fourth seed. Are what are you doing to your athletes? And you mean to say the other countries are not following the same rules? They are. How is it that their athletes are getting it right and our famed coaches and famed nutritionists and famed support staff are not? And this is what I said the other day when Prakash sir said that, boss, don't just blame the athlete. How are you blaming Antim Panghal? What is Antim Panghal supposed to do? Nothing. Antim Panghal was screwed up. Her head was gone. She had no food, she had no water. What will Antim Panghal, a 20-year-old, do when she's at the mat? She has no energy left. This is the job of the support team, damn it. This is the and I just feel lost at times about the support teams that we put on course. We think we have sent 117 athletes and 130 support staff. One is to one support staff. What are you doing, boss? That is where the question that Kannan has raised is so valid. Accountability. Ask these questions about accountability to the support staff as much as the athlete. It's a collective, not Antim's failure. The failure is of the collective. The coach cannot claim that, oh, I will get you a Ritika medal. No, you are as much responsible for Antim as much for Ritika, because you are a wrestling coach, that whoever the coach is, and the nutritionist and the support staff. So Antim is a case of bad management and a medal lost because of incompetence.
Final super chat before we close the show. Khwaja Muhammad Yawar is saying, Olympics is a reflection of the current world order. That's why you see permanent members of UNSC doing well. Australia 18 goals, missed 2 medals in hockey. Very sad.
What is the
Uh,
question?
I don't know.
What is the
It's
question? I mean, if the question is that India is not a permanent member of the UNSC and that is reflecting on our performance, I don't think that is the case. Yes, Olympics is a reflection of the current world order, and Olympics is an example of soft power. Soft power where which country is hosting it, and I think the IOC needs to do better and go to the global south at some point, because it's a global movement. We have not seen an Olympic Games in the global south. It should go to the global south. India has. Have you seen an Olympic Games in Africa? You haven't. Have you seen an Olympic Games in South Asia? You haven't. If it's a global movement, it has to go there. Maybe that is why the IOC session was in Mumbai last year, and maybe that is why the Indian bid for 2036. As far as Indian sport is concerned, don't compare with Australia, don't compare with US or China. We will take years to get there. We are now finally serious with our sport. The fact that we spend money, we are investing money. There are these independent foundations like a JSW, like a Reliance, etc., etc. The Olympic Gold Quest, Meraki, Go Sports, they are all trying. So this has to be a conscious process. This investment has to continue for a period of time, and that is why don't lash out. By lashing, Britain had one gold in 1996. One gold. Britain had 29 gold medals in 2012 when lottery funding kicked in. One gold in 96, 29 golds in 2012 at the London Games. By lashing out, we will get nowhere. Ask the questions. It is always a collective failure. The athlete is always accountable because it's the athlete who is losing. But it is also the collective, the coach, the nutritionist, the support staff, everybody, the mental conditioning coach who is also accountable. So our job is to hold the mirror, stay by the athlete, hold the mirror, ask the hard questions, make people accountable, and back Olympic sport. The question of not backing Olympic or Paralympic sport does not even arise. And now, after the Olympics, don't just forget Olympic sport, back Paralympic sport also, because that is another reflection of this world order. Are we sensitive about disability? Are we going to celebrate our athletes there? Or will we go back to India and start talking in a language which is pathetic, saying, अरे ये तो बेकार है, इसका तो हाथ नहीं है, पैर नहीं है, ब्लाइंड है, ये है, वो है, ये सब कहेंगे कि आके हमारे एथलीट्स के साथ रहेंगे इन पेरिस टू बैक देम फॉर द पैरालंपिक्स. I want to see how many of our media come to Paris to support the Paralympic Games. It will be an index of progress in sport. I want to see this. I want to see how many of our fans stay by Paralympic sport, because it is absolutely essential for progress.
To this super chat, Advaita has replied, don't blame government for this. You are crazy if you are doing comparing UNSC with medals, oranges and apples. All right, well, I think it's time for us to end this show. But I'd like to just end it with a tweet from, Jordan Burroughs, and he's saying, here's your friendly Olympic reminder. If someone in your family is an athlete, chances are someday they'll find themselves in a dark corner of an arena with their heads buried in their hands, devastated from defeat. Regardless of country, may we all remember the humanity of the competitors this weekend and choose compassion. On this note, we'll take your leave. Thank you so much. We'll see Neeraj Chopra in action today, so we're all excited for that. Thank you, Boria and Kanan.